Welcome to Cut No Corners, everybody. I'm Corbin.
And I'm Joe, and today we're starting our new series on the channel called How Much Would You Pay?
That's right. How much would you pay for Miles Morales? We're going to go over some of the pros, the cons, what we thought about, Spider-Man Miles Morales, specifically the PS5 version that I played and Joe spectated. The playthrough you can check out on our channel.
Plug. If you're not familiar, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales was a 2020 action-adventure game developed by the game creator Insomniac, the same people who brought us Spyro and Ratchet & Clank, and also 2018's Marvel's Spider-Man, obviously. So this is...
Love that game.
Yes, this is an expansion, not an expansion, but
It's
really...
basically an expansion. It's like a sequel.
Seek-expansion. Is that a new word?
Yeah.
So the story is roughly 8 to 12 hours. If you want to do strictly story, you can go probably about 15 if you added all the side missions. So you follow Miles Morales. He's in Harlem after Peter Parker Spider-Man is going on vacation and leaving you alone at the helm as the lone superhero in New York.
Yeah, he's got to go somewhere with MJ to Europe. Not going to spoil too much about the story.
Yeah.
But,
there's a big company, Roxxon, and you meet the main villain is the Tinkerer.
Ryan Seacrest is also in this game.
Yeah. Ryan Musk, Elon Seacrest, whichever way you want to go with. So, yeah.
Anyway, yes, it's shorter than the main game, but they also charge less. Essentially, though, as far as gameplay, graphics, all that good stuff, the gameplay and graphics are all just like the 2018 Spider-Man game if you've played that. Everything's top-notch animation. The lighting effects is just heightened in this next-gen, PS5 version. And they do a great job at separating Miles from Peter Parker in the way he moves, behaves. His morality system does kind of remind you of Peter because he aspires to be like him. So he's got that kind of like relatable, is this the right thing to do type of decision making that, a teenager in today's climate would have.
Yeah, this game is a great kickoff of the next gen console. It really works the hardware of the PS5. I mean, you can see it. All the rays are traced and all the particles are physicsed.
The particles! Some
polygons! It is a really beautiful game when you're playing it, and I agree with everything Corbin's stating, that it has all the feelings of the 2018 Spider-Man, but it's just unique enough so you know it's not Peter Parker and it's Miles Morales.
Yeah, I mean, like when you play as him, even his power set is totally different. Like, Peter's got a lot more gadgets, being the scientist that he is, but Miles is also pretty science-savvy himself, so he's got a couple, but he's also got the benefit of new powers that his particular iteration of Spider-Man has, like what they call Venom powers, where it's like this energy blast that spawns a whole new type of enemy that...
Science!
They developed technology to try to counter your powers, and then you also have invisibility that Miles has the power set of, and then they try to develop enemies to counter that, and it's just a whole new, they separate it far enough where it doesn't feel like just a rehash of the 2018 game. It's a whole new experience with a whole new personality, and it's awesome.
Yeah. The only drawback that I can see from the game, and Corbin's probably going to yell at me for it, but the only drawback I have is the length for the price. So retail, when this game came out, it was $49.99. You could buy, I think you could spend $69.99 and get 2018 Spider-Man PS5 version. But if you just want the base Miles Morales, it's $49.99. And like we said, the game is about 8 to 10 hours in length. Marvel's Spider-Man, when it retailed, was $59.99, and it was about twice the length of this one. So for $10 less, you get half the game, and that's the only drawback I really see.
Think about it like this: when you get like a DLC of a game, they often charge like $20 to $40 anyway. If you look at like Destiny expansions or
I agree.
whatever, some massive. But this game is larger than any Destiny expansion that I ever saw.
So
like this,
the game
even if
that
you
I
just
put this on par with is Uncharted's Lost Legacy. That was $29.99.
Yes, it's a perfect comparison because you're taking a character from the main series, giving them their own story, but it's not just like a 3-hour DLC mission. It's an entire story with a big budget because it looked amazing. Like everything, they put just as much effort into it. Yes, the length is shorter, but the effort put into that amount of time was just as painstaking and detail-oriented as the main game. Just slightly more bite-sized. I mean, there's still just as many collectibles as in the first game, and even unique ones that were never in the Peter Parker game. Like the mixtape stuff, specifically for, to bond with Miles' dad, who's, spoiler alert, who's no longer alive. But if you played the 2018 game or read the comics, you know that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The game looks as good as 2018 Spider-Man, but again, they weren't starting from zero. They had the 2018 Spider-Man base. We can get into the how much you would pay, and I'll give my justification now. So if I was going to say how much I would pay for it, I would go with $29.99. I put it on the same level as the Lost Legacy. It's about the same length, and that was $29.99 at release. So I think it's that the story isn't as long, so there's not as many characters. If you look at 2018 Marvel Spider-Man, you had Vulture, you had all the other villains in that game, Scorpion, Rhino. And in this game, it's really just Rhino and Tinkerer.
And Prowler.
Sure, a little bit. But that's how much I would pay. You can agree with me, not agree with me.
And Roxxon.
Sure, you can agree with me or not. $29.99 is how much I would pay. I don't think paying $10 less than the base game is the value I would agree to. But what would you pay, Corbin?
So the base game, was it $49? Is that what it was? And then once you get the upgraded one that included the remastered 2018 game, that was $59.99?
No,
I don't
you're
remember
talking
the
about
price,
the PS5?
The PS5 version.
The Just Miles is $49.99. Miles with 2018 Spider-Man is $69.99.
I personally think that that's justified for a couple of reasons. They put it in this whole new story, all new voice actors, not all new, I mean many new voice actors, potentially a whole new team of artists. Anyways, just as much work went into this, just with a few less collectibles and villains, right? And a slightly shorter script. And then they remastered the entire first game all over again, redid Peter for some reason, but it's still like a whole new animated thing. Like, I'm sure they put the time and effort into consideration when pricing these games. I mean, if the pricing that you quoted is true, you're paying
It is. I'm looking
an
at it
additional
right now.
$20. So it's $20 for an entirely remastered 2018 game.
But we're
But
not
that's separate from
talking
Miles.
about...
I know. But this is the package that I got for buying Miles. This is an actual version of Miles I got. So
You got two games. We're talking about Miles.
I know. And the price includes both of them. And
Miles
I
by
personally
itself
think
is $49.99.
yes. I think it was justified, personally. I would not have paid, I mean, maybe because I love Spider-Man. I don't think it should have been more than that. But you also have to consider the price of games have been $60 since what? 2005? 2006? Like, there's not been any inflation, and this is countrywide with the minimum wage is different all over the place for console games, yeah. Like, and it's just now going up to $69.99 for PS5 games only just right now, and this game was $49, so $30 less.
20.
Wait, no, $20 less. $20 less. Yeah, I think it's justified. I would pay exactly what it was charged.
Just to counter some of your points, again, they're not starting from zero. They have all of New York modeled. The voice actors they brought
They
in
definitely
some.
beefed it up.
They beefed it up, but it's not starting from zero like they were with 2018 Marvel Spider-Man. That was from zero. and you got from 0 to 100 for $59.99, and now you got like 70 to 100 for $49.99. I agree. The game was beautiful. It was great. I'm not trying to take anything away from the game. If it was $39.99, I'd probably be a little more on board. Maybe that's the max I would pay because it's a next-gen expansion. But $49.99 seemed a little rich for me. And those are just our opinions on this. Leave us a comment about what you think of how much you would pay.
Yeah, viewers, what would you pay?
Yeah, so if you like these, remember to comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, and smash the like button. Science smash for Miles. If you watch the playthrough, you'll understand.
This has been Cut No Corners. I'm Corbin.
And I'm Joe. We'll talk to you in the next one.
Bye.